Are you scared of dolls? If so, then this story is for you. Welcome back, everybody, to my channel. And today, we're going to talk about one of the most scary things ever. Are you ready? Let's get into it. The first story is called The Haunting Secrets of the Disfigured Doll. This creepy doll was found in an antique store by a young woman who was immediately drawn to its haunting beauty. But as soon as she brought it home, strange things started to happen. Doors slammed shut. Footsteps echoed through the house, and whispers seemed to come from the doll itself. As time went on, the whispers became more frequent, and the entity grew more bold, even interacting with other objects in the room. The young woman soon realized that the doll wasn't just a creepy antique, but a vessel for a dark presence that had sinister intentions. With each passing day, the situation grew more dire, and she found herself trapped in a nightmare she couldn't wake up from. What would you do if you were her? Let me know in the comments below. Next, we have a story called When Dolls Whisper. A young mother was putting her child to bed when she heard a voice that sent chills down her spine. It was the voice of a little girl whispering, "Let me in." At first, she thought it was her imagination, but then she heard it again, and that's when she saw the antique doll sitting on the shelf, staring directly at her. The doll's eyes seemed to glow red in the dim light, and its porcelain face was contorted in a silent scream. The mother's blood ran cold as she realized that the doll was the source of the terrifying whispers. She tried to ignore it, but the whispers grew louder and more insistent. "Let me in! Let me in!" they hissed. The mother's fear turned to panic as she realized that the doll was no longer just a creepy antique, but a conduit for something evil. Something was trying to possess her child. Could she stop it before it was too late? Find out in the next part of this video. Now we have the story called Unveiling the Horror. A young woman named Emma purchased a beautiful antique doll at an estate sale. The doll was stunning, but there was something about its eyes that seemed to stare back at her with a haunting intensity. Soon after bringing the doll home, Emma began to experience strange and terrifying events. Objects moved on their own. Whispers echoed through the empty halls of her home, and she could have sworn she saw the doll moving on its own. One night, Emma woke up in the middle of the night to the sound of the doll's laughter. It was a chilling sound that seemed to mock her fear. That's when she noticed the doll's eyes were glowing red. The once beautiful antique had become a vessel for something evil and sinister, and Emma found herself trapped in a nightmare she couldn't wake up from. What will she do next? Let's find out in our next story. The Terrifying Truth. The young woman had always been fascinated by old, creepy things, especially dolls. So when she saw the antique doll in the shop window, she had to have it. The doll was beautiful, but there was something about its eyes that seemed to stare back at her. She ignored the uneasy feeling and took the doll home. That night, strange things started to happen. She heard whispers and footsteps and saw the doll moving on its own. Then one night she woke up to the sound of the doll laughing. It was a cruel, mocking laugh that sent shivers down her spine. That's when she noticed the doll's eyes were glowing red. The doll was possessed by an evil spirit, and it wanted her to know that she was unsafe. The entity taunted her, whispering secrets and manipulating objects, all while watching her with its glowing red eyes. Every night it grew stronger, making regular appearances and tormenting her with whispers and taunts. But as the story goes on, she finds out the horrifying truth about the doll and its connection to her family's past, and what she discovers will shock her to the core. And now for our final story, Whispers in the Dark. A young woman received a mysterious package in the mail, a creepy doll that looked like it had a sinister past. As soon as she opened the package, a musty smell filled the air, and the doll's eyes seemed to glow red in the dim light. She could feel a dark presence emanating from the doll, but she couldn't resist the urge to take it home. That night, she placed the doll on a shelf in her bedroom, but she soon regretted her decision. The doll's eyes seemed to follow her around the room, and she could have sworn she heard whispers coming from it. As the days went on, the whispers grew louder and more frequent. They seemed to be coming from the doll, but she couldn't make out the words being said. She tried to ignore it, but the whispers became a constant presence in her life, driving her to the brink of madness. What would you do if you were her? Let us know in the comments below.